Now, from Ayrshire to the Arctic, Kilmarnock to the summit of Kilimanjaro, millions of us will be celebrating Burns Night this weekend, which is, of course, this Sunday. Joining us now is Drive Time regular Ian Houston, who's a global Scot based in Washington and a trustee of Ellison Farm, where Burns, of course, wrote Auld Lang Syne. And Ian, I understand you're in the country as we speak.
I am with pleasure in the country, so it's so nice to be with you, Laura. And what a nice story to follow. I just in listening in about care and goodness and kindness. So it's really the spirit of Burns Supper. And so I like following that beautiful story you just had.
Well, you're more than welcome. And had we known earlier that you were going to be in the country, we'd have had you in the studio because you are with us. We always talk to you from Washington. But you're here, are you here especially for Burns Night?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, I'm here to represent Scotland in all of its manifestations when I come. And obviously, Burns Night is such an important... This is the 225th anniversary of the first ever Burns Supper held by friends of Burns in July of 1801 at the cottage in Alloway. And a shout out to my friend Hugh Farrell, who helps convene a very intimate supper there every year. And I'll be there with Hugh and the family and friends on Sunday. So that's originally, so everyone knows, that's where it all started in 1801. So 225 years since that first supper. So thanks to Hugh for what he does to keep that spirit alive.
So you're going to be actually in Alloway Cottage this Sunday celebrating. Tell us more about how that's come around.
Well, again, the vision of some people to resurrect the spirit of that original supper. Hugh, again, has done such a good job. The people there at the cottage to try to preserve the spirit of Burns. I'm also, as you say, a trustee of Ellison Farm, and that's where everyone who wrote Auld Lang Syne, this anthem for the world that, of course, is celebrated not just at a Burns Night, but all sorts of occasions. That's where he authored that piece, and it's quite extraordinary. People can visit the cottage and should, but also can go to Ellison to feel a very authentic, genuine property of where he wrote songs and poems.
We were having a chat about Burns a little earlier in the office, and I'm not a native Scot. I'm Irish by birth. It can be quite tricky. How do many Americans manage to sort of get to terms with it?
Yes, I mean, Burns is an interesting character. Of course, you being Irish, Ireland has such a great tradition of poetry, right? You were taught that. Some remarkable poets have come from Ireland, and those words travel around the world. Burns is quite unique. It's extraordinary that we have this one night during the course of the year to celebrate an author. Even Shakespeare doesn't have a supper like this. So in many respects, Laura, this becomes Scotland's night. And I would encourage anyone who is going to attend a Burns Supper or Burns Night to remember that Burns himself would have wished for us to beam in modern contemporary Scotland. The opportunities exist there, are here, and how people can engage with charities or universities or even business and come visit Scotland. Burns himself would have wished for that. And so it becomes Scotland's night, and we need to just be awake and alert to that as well, not just Burns, but Scotland.
Ian, thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful Burns Night when it comes this Sunday. Regular Drive Time guest Ian Houston there.